Workshop calculators are not just used as calculating machines, they also log journal entries used to complete the series of complex calculations to be saved and compared. 3 calculators have been developed to conveniently organize the facts and estimates you need to improve your business. Optimum mix quality can be achieved more so with eSpotCheck calculator. Many companies manually spot check their continuous weighing instruments a few times a day. This may be cumbersome, time-consuming, and sometimes not so accurate. eSpotCheck calculator allows you to cross-check all the scales and meters with each other and with the volumes of oil used, etc., and with the mix loaded into the silo. Many times spot checks should be run more than a few times a day. eSpotCheck allows, or may allow, you to run one spot check after another. The data entered into the document, the eSpotCheck, at the end of a spot check can be automatically used for the start of the next spot check. The entire day's production can be checked with multiple spot checks, back to back with one another. Optimum energy efficiency can be achieved more so with Energy Calculator. Many companies manually spot check their fuel usage with calculator and scratch paper. Their many changing variables affect energy consumption, consequently making acquiring accurate consumption expectations difficult to nail down. Energy Calculator figures the energy consumption as well as figures accurate expectations for plant operators and maintenance personnel to target the actual consumption too. Optimum production rates can be achieved more so with eProduction's calculator. Knowing a plant's realistic potential production rate is a necessary yardstick to measure the plant's historical production rate. eProduction's calculator sizes up the plant components to include the burner, baghouse, and exhaust fan, considers the factors the plant is operated in, measures the actual exhaust to gas flow and compares it against the exhaust fan rating and the size the fan should be rated for. When a plant's actual production does not measure up with its expected production, then work to make the improvement effort is probably called for. If the improvement will cost money, this investment will probably be weighed against the need for added capacity. We learned in Module 7, Scales and Meters, how these measuring instruments work by themselves. We learned in Module 8, Control Systems, how the scales and meters are an integral part of the control system. This eSpotCheck spreadsheet not only documents what the scales are reading, but automatically calculates their accuracies in relation to all the other scales and required set points. This eSpotCheck spreadsheet helps the plant operator determine if the mix is being produced properly while the plant is in production. The white cells in the eSpotCheck spreadsheet contain the results of the calculations made automatically when the colored cell data is entered. When possible, volumetric measurements, tank stick, are compared to the gravimetric measurements. All gravimetric measuring instruments, such as scales and temperature-compensated meter totalizers, are compared to each other. A flag in the operator's mind should go up whenever a measurement deviates significantly from its set point. The eSpotCheck spreadsheet has yellow flags going up in case the operator's mind flag has not been completely raised. Just knowing how much fuel the plant is using is not doing enough. Also knowing how much fuel the plant should be using and doing something about it does great things for our country, planet, and your bottom line. Energy Calculator is a fantastic tool to determine what you need to know in order to make corrective actions. What you don't have in your head, you make up in your feet. Take some time to change the material moistures, mix temperatures, and hot stop factor. You may be surprised how much money you are leaving on the table and your contribution to greenhouse gases. You may also be surprised how much these factors affect production when changing these entries on the eProduction calculator. Production expectations. What is your maximum production? What you are getting may be less than what you should be getting. If trucks are waiting, the mix producer is losing money. Plants are rated by manufacturers to produce a certain rate. The producer may find that the plant does not come close to that rate. Sometimes paving managers see the plant perform at a high rate one day and now expect it to do that every day. Equipment type, how equipment is operated, how equipment is maintained, and the conditions the plant is operated under all affect the production rate. Therefore, these factors have to be considered before determining the maximum plant production rate. The eProductions calculator is a spreadsheet that calculates the production rates one can expect by correcting the plant's equipment specifications to the conditions that it operates under. These production rates are calculated for different sized dryers, different sized exhaust fans which supply the combustion air, different gas velocities that carry away a certain amount of fines, and different fuels. The standard plant operating conditions are 500 feet above sea level, 300-degree mix, and aggregate moistures near 5%. When a plant is operating under different conditions, the eProductions calculator makes the adjustment to the actual plant production expectations. Take some time to change the aggregate moistures, mix temperatures, and plant elevation, and you may be surprised how much these factors affect production. Changing the applicable entries on the energy calculator may also surprise you how much money you are leaving on the table and your contribution to greenhouse gases.